Coach, it felt like tonight, and I don't know if it's a slow first half, but not a lot of chances either way. And then it just felt like the play really picked up, or your team sort of started clicking, found another gear. It just felt like you had a dangerous group offensively out there in the second half, and then they broke through. Is that what you saw, or I guess talk about just what you saw with that second half?
Pretty much what I saw. First of all, Cleveland State's a really good team, so the first half didn't surprise me at all. I mean, it was a deadlock. They certainly had more shots. I don't know that anything was too troubling. I thought we did a decent job of controlling them, but it just didn't look like either team was probably going to score in that first half. And again, not surprising. We talked about a few things at halftime. We had a few guys loosen up a little bit with their play, maybe bring a little bit more energy. And you're right, I felt really good about that second half. It really felt like we were going to definitely get our goal.
And you and I have talked a little bit about your team's depth, but I think it was evident tonight. I mean, you had a stretch there with some substitutes on the field that really kind of created things, made things happen. You know, just Keaton always kind of makes things happen. Marshall Mast made his debut. And then Chris Sullivan comes off the bench and was a key, obviously, part of that second half with an assist on the first goal and then scoring the second. Just, I mean, do you feel like you're seeing that? Is that just a product of in practice, everybody going up against one another, that you've got some depth that when those guys get a chance, they can fill in those spots and make things happen?
Yeah, we do have a deep team, and you know, we had confidence in those three guys. Obviously, putting them in, we're not putting them in to give them minutes. We're putting them in to make a difference, which is exactly what they did. They each brought something. But to be honest, we have 5 more guys that we could have put in this game. So it's a really difficult job for me to figure out who's getting onto the field, who's getting into the game, particularly because the 11 that started, I like those guys, and they're giving us a lot. So it's a problem that every coach would love to have, but it's not easy for sure. And that's so when we put guys on, I think they are prepared because our training environment is so solid. Just from 1 through 25 players on our roster, they're all quality, and they're all driven. They're all professional about the way they train and prepare. So I really think that I could have looked at anyone on the bench tonight, put them in, and they would have done well.
And I wanted to ask you about Anthony. I mean, it's your second straight shutout to start the year here, and obviously the guys in the back are helping him, but you went up 2-0, and he had a couple saves that some of them obviously did look like tough saves, but some that maybe didn't look that tough, but there was a last second header or deflection. I mean, he cleaned up a lot of things where, you know, if they react and score, all of a sudden it's a 1-goal game. It's very different.
Huge. I think he did one. I think he made one. Well, he made them all night. He had one when it was still 0-0 in the first half, I think. And at that point, I felt we were on him. But you know, that's the way the game goes. They get an opportunity. He keeps us in it, and he's done that for us all year last year, and he continues to do it this year. I think we have to be careful relying on him to bail us out. You know, we got to make sure we're doing everything we can to not let them have those opportunities. But at the end of the day, he is our guy, and we do know he can make those saves.
And then now you have a couple days here before you go on the road. 2 games in Philadelphia this weekend. I guess just talk about the different challenges that going on the road present, and really not just necessarily different challenges, but just the chance to kind of get away as just your team too, with you know, being in, whether it's in the hotel or at the field, or, you know.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It's always good to go on these trips. We've been here for a few weeks now. It will present some different challenges to us. We love playing at Cochrane. We do well here. The Cochrane Crazies are they're growing each and every game. They're bringing more spirit, and we're enjoying playing in front of them even more. So I doubt they'll be making it to Philly. So we're gonna have to find some different motivation to make sure we bring the juice. And it's just fun playing 2 teams that we don't see very often, and we got coaches we got to learn a little bit about them, see what we're up against. But I'm sure they'll bring some different challenges for us.
All right, thank you, sir.
All right, thanks.